Hey, 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 my Toneful people, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see everybody. Before we get to the interview stuff, I'm going to say hello to some people in the chat. I'm going to go back through here, and I don't want to miss anybody. If I do, it's never intentional. Remember that. I am not here. I'm here to do good. I'm here to do good. So if I miss you, it's not intentional. All right. Wayne is here all the way from the UK, ladies and gentlemen. He makes the trek. He makes the trek once again. Thank you, Wayne. Good to see you, buddy. I see somebody with my last name, and it's not my wife. It's my Aunt Holly. We call her a saint because she's really amazing and wonderful. So she's here. Hello, Holly. And I do see my wife, so hey, Kay. Candy is awesome. She's wonderful. She's here too. Mike Panich, my man. And if you see me call him Pickles, that's because we call him Pickles. But he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Also, let's see, who else do we have? Who else do we have? That's what I see. I see more people here. So hello to you folks that are out there that are just listening, and I appreciate you being here. So had some good news today. My song Winter Park, which is going to go to streaming on Friday, actually seems to have hit the radio airwaves early because a friend of mine called me and was playing the song over his phone from Daytona, Florida. In fact, it was Tom Randall's. Tom Randall's used to be on WTAE years ago. He was a newscaster there and has done broadcasting in, I think, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. And also he was in Nashville for many years. And he's a great guy, and he also plays a fine guitar. But he called me to let me know it was being played. So went to the radio earlier than I thought. So anyway, if you get a chance, go to my Spotify. Actually, you can go to the pre-save link, and that should be somewhere in my links in the description. If not, I'll post it here later. Also, make sure you go to my Spotify site, and if you can, subscribe and play some of those tunes, because I just started streaming music. I mean, it just started. So anyway, I'm going to come back and see if I have any other folks that I need to say hello to, or I want to say hello to, I should say. Hey, Brian Gerard, you are here. You made it. He thought maybe that Billy and I were playing a gig together, which I wish. Well, let me try that again. Which I wish we were, but we're not. It's here tonight. But I'm very grateful for that. In fact, I want to tell you, I've gotten to work with some great people over the course of my career. And Billy Price is certainly one of them. He's a legend and a great guy and a major talent. So I think you're going to like it. Hey, Perry. How you doing, Buster Boy? That's who that is. Perry plays harmonica. Awesome. Good to see you, buddy. So Wayne's here. Perry's here. Kay's here. Mike's here. Holly's here. Candy's here. All right, you guys. So here's the deal. I'm not going to make you wait too long here because Billy's awesome. And I want to get to it. So I will be back after the interview. So hang, because I will come back and we're going to talk for a while. But without any further ado, I am going to move to the Billy Price segment as soon as I give you this word. Real quick before we keep going, if you've been enjoying Toneful Tuesdays, I'd really appreciate it if you'd take a second and subscribe to the channel. It's a small thing, but it really does make a difference. It helps the channel grow, it helps more people discover what we're doing here, and helps me bringing you great guests, meaningful conversation, music, and encouragement week after week. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. And if you're not, I'd surely be grateful for your support. All right, let's get back to it.
Song, I call him Joe. Lately he's been peeking out his living room window and watching when I come and go. Now my wife's eyes go wide when I mention his name. It's making me suspicious. He's not a suspect this time, but he's a person of interest. A person of interest. Now Joe's wife, let's call her Jane. She likes to party when the sun goes down. She hangs around for a Sonny's hideaway with a guy from the bad side of town. Joe might have a motive to mess around in other people's business. He's not a suspect at this time. My home is my sacred sanctuary, my refuge from the coldness of the world. When you threaten my home, you threaten my way of life, and that I can neither tolerate nor forgive. I always try to be a good neighbor. I keep my house in good repair. I loan you my tools. I'll feed your cat. If you're stuck, I'll drive you anywhere. But if something's going on in my home, I'll search till I find a witness. My investigation is underway. Focused on one person of interest. One person of interest. Now you better watch out. See, I'm watching you. What you do to me? I think you better watch what you do to me. You can't run, Lord, you can't hide. You're a person of interest. I got my eye on you, man. Person of interest. Thank you.
Before each episode, I like to take a few moments to introduce the artist we're about to hear from. And tonight's guest is someone I'm truly honored to welcome. This evening, we're featuring my friend Billy Price, an award-winning soul blues vocalist whose career has spanned decades and whose voice has become a powerful part of the blues, soul, and R&B world. Billy first attracted national attention through his 3-year association with legendary guitarist Roy Buchanan. He was the vocalist on 2 of Roy's albums, That's What I'm Here For and Livestock.
Well, she didn't bat an eye as I packed my bags to leave. I thought she would start to cry or sit around my room and grieve. Oh, but that girl, hey, she fooled me this time. She acted like I was the last thing on her mind. Now I would like to start all over again. Oh, baby, baby, let me change my mind. All I wanna do is change my mind. Well, let me change my mind. Wait a minute. As I took those steps toward that open door, oh, people I knew all the time. Oh Lord, I really didn't want to go, but my baby wouldn't give me no sign, nothing to make me change my mind. All I wanna do, Lord, I got to start all over again. Now, baby, let me change my mind. Please, 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 baby. Oh, let me change my mind. Yeah.
From there, Billy continued building a remarkable career with the Keystone Rhythm Band, the Billy Price Band, and his many solo projects. Over the years, he has recorded and released a total of 21 albums, CDs, and DVDs.
Now what I know about you is all I need to know. You decide what you want to show. From my glass house, I'm not throwing any rocks. Just tell me what you want to. I'm not gonna look inside inside that box.
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
I'm not gonna look, baby.
I'm not gonna look inside that
You
box.
say what you want. You can keep the stories, close them up and check the locks. Baby, you don't have to worry. I'm not gonna look inside that box.
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
Come on, horns. Now people say confession is good for the soul. The details you confess are yours to control. I'm not gonna pry. This old heart can't stand the shocks. Baby, long as we're together, I'm not gonna look inside that box.
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
Now before we came together, we both had history. I won't cross-examine you, don't examine me. Nobody gets this far without a few hard knocks. If you wanna keep yours to yourself, I'm not gonna look inside that box.
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
No, no.
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
I'm not gonna look, baby,
I'm not gonna look inside that box.
inside that box. You and me, baby. Oh, we had a few hard knocks. If you won't keep yours to yourself, I'm not gonna look inside that box.
Inside that box.
All right.
His album, This Time for Real, recorded with the late Chicago soul singer Otis Clay, won a 2016 Blues Music Award for the Best Soul Blues Album.
You know, most entertainers, when they come out on stage, they want to sing a song for all the beautiful ladies in the house. No, cool. Because this is for the men. That's all the fellas out there. Especially those that's been in love one time,
Yeah.
two times,
2 times,
maybe three,
maybe 4.
or just running around. Then we want to sing this for those men. Now, I don't know about you, but I stand before you this evening a single man. 'Cause when she left me, when she left me, I didn't tell you this, Billy. You met her. When she left me, see, oh, she left me with a nickel and a nail. I'm telling you a true story this evening. You see, she took the house, the car, the kid, and my best friend. Oh, she left me with a nickel and a nail. Well, I guess we're going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you the story, Billy said. Oh, I once had love and plenty of money. Oh, yes, I did. Some way, somehow, Lord knows I failed. Now, all I have in my pocket. Tell me, all I can give a count, a nickel and a nail. That's all it is. All I have, nickel and a nail. My friend, oh no, 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 they just don't know. They still, somewhere down in their hearts, they think I'm doing swell, but they just don't know. Here's the reason why. Every now and then I smile and I jingle. Yes, you. Oh, you jingle. Oh, baby, it's a nickel and a nail. That's all it is. A nickel and a nail. Might say my pride to see.
Billy has also received numerous Blues Music Award nominations over the years, and in 2024, he was honored with the Bluebird Review's Lifetime Career Award in the UK. His 2024 album, Person of Interest, received major recognition, including Blues Music Award nominations for Soul Blues Album and Album of the Year. Now Billy is following that up with a brand new album titled Random Madness, produced by Grammy-winning producer and drummer Tony Braunagel. The album features the Billy Price Band and was recorded right here in Billy's stomping grounds of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Billy has described the songs on Random Madness as the most personal of his career, ranging from lighthearted to confessional to serious, and it feels like a natural next chapter after Person of Interest.
When my tongue starts moving, I'll just make things worse. Verbal proficiency is not a blessing, it's a curse. I empty everything out of my head. I was a fool for the things that I said. The things that I said. Selective disclosure just might be enough. No need to say what I really think when the going gets rough. Some topics are best deferred right before bed. I was a fool for the things that I said.
For the things that I said.
The things that I said. Good intentions die at the gates of hell. My epitaph will be, he thought he meant well. I was a fool for the things that I said.
For the things that I said.
The things that I said. Virtue and valor, discretion is the better part. Just as soon as I open my mouth, that's when the trouble starts. I could be by your side, but I'm out on the lam instead. I was a fool, baby, for the things that I said.
For the things that I said.
The things that I said. I was a fool. I was a fool. I was a fool, baby, for the things that I said.
For the things that I said. For the things that I said.
On a personal note, I've had the great pleasure of working with Billy before, and I'm really looking forward to catching up with him this evening. So please, my friends, welcome the great Billy Price. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to have my wonderfully talented friend here today, the legendary Billy Price. Hi, Bill.
How you doing, Tony? Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you. It's such a blessing to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get right to the questions because I got a bunch
Sure.
of them for
Sure
you.
do, yeah.
All right. Billy, I'd love to start at the beginning. What first drew you to music and especially to soul, blues, and R&B singing?
I'm not exactly sure why I fixated on that style of music, but I certainly did. I listened to the radio a lot when I was a kid, and I grew up in northern New Jersey, so I could get all the radio stations from New York City and Newark, New Jersey, and places like that. And there was just a lot of great music in the 50s and 60s. The music that was really popular was doo-wop, vocal group music. They call it doo-wop now, but the Moon Glows and the Flamingos and the Dubs and so forth. And I loved that stuff. And then that was also the heyday of the early R&B soul artists like Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson and Ray Charles, we were talking about a moment ago, Bobby Blue Bland, and then in the 60s when I was in high school, that was the heyday of Southern soul music, and I particularly became a fan of Otis Redding. I was a member of the Otis Redding National Fan Club. I used to get letters from Phil Walden 4 or 5 times a year with announcements of shows and discounts and stuff like that, and discounts on his albums. And then, man, I got a chance to see some of the real greats. I saw James Brown in 1967 at Madison Square Garden. Cold Sweat had just been released. He was just slamming. And that's where I really learned the music that I love.
That's great. And those are some wonderful artists. I surely hear that in your music, and I hear all that stuff, but I still hear you. You have your thing, man. You're so identifiable, and it's wonderful.
I appreciate that. It took a long time to get there. I was an imitator for a long time, but I'd like to think I've transcended that at this point.
You have. So, Bill, a lot of people came to know you through your relationship with Roy Buchanan, a great guitarist. Tell me about that.
Well, I had a band at the time. This was in the 1970s. I had a band in Pittsburgh called the Rhythm Kings, and we were playing a lot of jump blues and kind of swing stuff and early rock and roll and some New Orleans R&B, and we became a thing in the Shadyside region of Pittsburgh. We had a sort of a residency at this place called the Fox Cafe, and it became a real cool scene down there. We played there 6 nights a week for months and months. And there was a guy who saw us a few times there by the name of Jay Rich. He was a Pittsburgh guy, but he was going to college down at American University in D.C., and around that time, Roy Buchanan was playing regularly in this roadhouse somewhere in Virginia called the Crossroads. And Jay used to go down and see Roy play at the Crossroads. And eventually Jay became Roy's manager, kind of talked his way into it. And at that time, Roy had released 2 albums on Polydor Records, and there was a PBS special about him called The World's Greatest Unknown Guitar Player. So there was a lot of buzz about him, but they wanted to team him up with a singer, and he was a good singer. He was soulful, very soulful as a singer, but he wasn't comfortable singing, and he didn't really like it. And so he always had singers in his bands. So it was Jay's idea to put Roy together with me. They were about to release their 3rd studio album for Polydor Records, and they brought me in, and I wrote some songs sort of with Roy, and we put that album out. The album didn't really do much. And then they did another album for Polydor. I toured with Roy quite a bit at that time. Got to play Carnegie Hall and, the Spectrum in Philly and all kinds of great gigs. And I was like 22, 23 years old, But they put another album out on Roy, on Polydor, and that one didn't do a whole lot. But and then they decided to move to Atlantic Records, but they owed Polydor one more album. So they brought me back to sing at a live concert at Town Hall in New York. And that album became one of the most popular of Buchanan's career, and pretty well thought of. It was called Livestock. And it was pretty much a blues jam. I mean, that's all it really was. But it definitely had some moments. You know, there were some songs on there that they picked up particularly on radio in Pittsburgh. There's a song we did a cover of Tyrone Davis's "Can I Change My Mind," and you know that got played a lot. I had a friend of mine, keyboard player named Jim Pugh. He told me that he thought that my recording with Buchanan of "Can I Change My Mind" was responsible for that becoming a kind of a bar band standard among people, that if we had never done that, probably most people would have forgotten about that song. But you know, everybody does that song now, and we were probably the first ones out of the box with a cover version of it. And Roy played the wrong chords. I mean, it wasn't at all the same song, but it was okay.
That's great. Well, I can tell you this: I know of it because of you.
Yeah, the way that came about. Roy did a lot of studio work down in the DC area, and there was a vocal group by the name of the Winstons, and Roy played guitar on their big hit record, which was called "Color Him Father." Do you remember that song?
I don't know.
I don't color him father, think I'll color him love. Well, Roy, for that session, played the guitar part from "Can I Change My Mind" by Tyrone Davis, and we were talking about it, and I said, man, I sing "Can I Change My Mind" with my band. You know, we should do it. So we added it to the show, and that's how it got to be done.
I mentioned Roy last night because you were going to be on my show.
Yeah.
And there's a Roy Buchanan tune that I've always loved called "The Messiah Will Come Again."
That was a big showstopper for him.
Oh, man. What a great song.
Yep.
And then there's a guy that I've always loved, Gary Moore.
Yeah, Gary Moore. Right.
And he does a live version of that. If you, I don't know if you've heard it or not, but man, it's pretty killing, you know.
Have you ever heard the French guy that I work with sometimes, Fred Chapelier?
I have. He's great.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Gary Moore and also Buchanan.
That's
how I met Fred. Fred like wrote to me on my guest book on my website. I used to have a guest book where people could leave comments, and got to talking to me and said that he was a big fan of Buchanan's, but he also had followed my music subsequent to Buchanan, and so we got to talking, and that's how I ended up working with Fred. First album I did with him was a tribute to Roy Buchanan that he did on Dixie Frog Records in France.
Right, I have it.
Yeah, that's good. Good album.
That's great. So after the Roy Buchanan chapter, you continued building your own identity with the Keystone Rhythm Band. What were you trying to create musically in those years?
Well, the experience with Buchanan left me a little bit jaded on the music business. I had high hopes. My fantasy was that I would be able to leverage my work with Buchanan to get a deal for the Rhythm Kings, which is what I was really interested in. And that never happened. And so, I just bounced around and went back to school for a while. But while I was up at Penn State, this was my second time up at Penn State, I ran into these guys who were in a band that was breaking up at the time. They were called Sweet Pain. And, I just started to sit in with them, and I rounded some of them up, and we started a little band, and, it just grew from there. I don't, it's not like the question implies that I had a grand plan. I didn't have any kind of grand plan. I just kind of fell into things,
I understand. Things sort of morph into.
Yeah, they did. We started to play in Pittsburgh and got more popular here, and everybody moved here to Pittsburgh, and we just grew from there.
You had a wonderful band.
Great band.
And it's funny, at the time, I did some gigging with Don Alico Jr.
Yeah,
and Mike Carr.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to tell you about that off camera sometime. It was called the Real Time Band. I don't know if you ever heard of that or not. But
Yeah. No, Mike always used to mention your name. He knew how good you were.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Speaking of band members, I actually got to do a few shows with Glenn Pavone, and Glenn was just a wonderful guitarist and had an awesome spirit about him. Could you tell me about working with Glenn?
Yeah, I played with Buchanan, so I know, what great guitar playing sounds like. And to me, Pavone was right up there with him. He had this remarkable God-given natural talent that I've just never seen anything like it in my life. Give an example. He was just first getting into the band, and we were rehearsing somewhere, and I said to him, it would be cool if you covered the song "Frosty" by Albert Collins. Great guitar instrumental, as an opening song before I came up. I said, you know that? He said, no. So I had the record with me, and I put it on the turntable, and he's just, sitting on the couch and playing along. Yeah, I could do that. And he counted it all, bang, and he nailed it in one take. It's unbelievable,
That's great.
My jaw just dropped.
He was a great player and a great guy. In fact, it's funny because I have a picture. We played a show over in the South Hills. Val was playing bass, and it was a festival, so there were several bands, and it ended up being Glenn played drums.
He was a good drummer,
yeah. He played drums, Val played bass, and I played guitar.
He had so many talents, that guy. He was a great golfer, and obsessed with playing golf, and he also was serious about playing baseball. He almost left the band to go try out for a semi-pro baseball team. He just was an extraordinary creature, the only way I can put it. And, Val still plays with me.
Yeah, and is Dave Dodd with you as well?
On drums, yeah.
So I know both those guys, and you have to tell them I said hello.
I will.
Yeah, as well as Jimmy Britton.
Yeah, Jimmy, yeah.
And actually now, because of where I'm living, I run into Matt Ferraro every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He just loves playing with you.
Yeah, it's great.
Bill, you've always had such a strong connection to Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. What has the city meant to you as a musician and as a person?
Well, I didn't grow up here, as you know. I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I kind of fell over on this side of the state of Pennsylvania. I went to school at Penn State, and then we had a band there, the Rhythm Kings I mentioned, and started to play in Pittsburgh, but it really took off in Pittsburgh. And I blame it on Porky Chedwick in a way, and some of the other great DJs, because, if you think of Alan Freed in Cleveland, he managed the Moonglows, and he was playing a lot of doo-wop on the radio. And Porky was a contemporary of Alan Freed and Murray the K and all those great DJs, but the flavor of it in Pittsburgh was more on the jump blues side. He used to play a lot of Wynonie Harris and Bull Moose Jackson and Roy Brown and Tiny Bradshaw and that kind of stuff on the radio. And that was exactly what the Rhythm Kings were doing. So I think when we started to play in the bars in Pittsburgh, the music just resonated with people in Pittsburgh the way it wouldn't have in Philly, for example. Philly was more of a vocal group thing, but Pittsburgh was like a blues shouter place,
Yes, the blues shouters. I learned this stuff when I was a kid.
Big Joe Turner and stuff like that, yeah.
When my dad, he played with the Hyde brothers.
Oh, yeah.
So Bill Hyde was the one who turned me on to Wynonie Harris and all that stuff.
Man, I still play with Bill Hyde every now and then.
Oh, he's great.
He's a wild man, but what a player, man.
He's a great player, and he's like one of the original characters,
Yes.
So I have to tell you, while I have you here with Bill, my father was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And Bill and George occasionally would babysit my brother and I, which is, think of having the Hyde brothers as your babysitters. Okay.
Your parents should have been arrested for that.
But
That's borderline child abuse.
Bill was so great because he would take me out back and pitch wiffle ball to me.
Yeah.
And he could announce baseball like a pro announcer. So he made playing baseball out in the backyard so interesting because he would announce the game as you were, batting against him and stuff. It was just great.
Last year, Bill Hyde sends me an email, and he wanted me to go to some small province in China with him for 3 months to play to play in a bar 6 nights a week, for not really good money, And I thought about it for a minute, and then I called my son and talked to him about it. Because my son had been in Beijing for a couple of years, and my son said, "Are you out of your mind?" I ended up declining that opportunity, and not only that, but to be holed up in some province in China with Bill Hyde for 2 months.
Well, he actually called me from China a couple months ago.
Right.
He's married to a Chinese woman.
Yes, he is. Right.
So I love him. He's a character. Of course, George passed away. So
George was a great
miss
guy.
him.
Great guy.
But I don't know if you know their brother Jim. Do you know Jimmy?
No, I don't know Jim. He's
Okay.
the guy who writes for Mac World, right?
That's right. That's right. He lives out in the, I guess we'll call it San Francisco area. But great people.
Talented family, man.
They are.
Yeah.
Very colorful too.
That's right. His son's a great jazz drummer.
Oh, George.
Well thought of, right.
George Jr.
George Jr., yeah.
Yeah. He's playing great.
1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises. You know that one? That's an announcer check from the 40s or something.
That's great.
They used to test announcers on that.
That's
it goes
great.
on.
We're rolling.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story this reminds me of. Did you ever record a Jerry in New Brighton?
I never did. But I know of it well.
So you know Don Garvin, the guitar player?
Yeah.
So Don and I and H.B. Bennett, we decided to do a soul tribute album called The Soul Collection. I still think it's one of my best albums. I did it in the around 1997, 98. And so we're recording it, and the Jerry studio, God bless Don. Don was a genius in so many ways, but the studio was a little shaky, technically. And so I got this song from my friends, the Nighthawks. You ever hear of Eddie Hinton?
Yeah.
So Eddie Hinton was a great white R&B singer from Alabama, and the Nighthawks had done some shows with him, and they had a demo tape of some of his songs that he had never recorded. And we had this one song called Dangerous Highway. It's a very difficult song to sing. And I went into the vocal booth. We were cutting Dangerous Highway. I went to the vocal booth, and I did this take. And after the take was over, I thought, man, I've never sung that better, and I will never sing it this well again in my life. I did it. I felt wonderful. I went into the control room, and Garvin's listening to it, and there's like some flaw on the track. You got to do it again.
I've been in those situations too.
Yeah, so I went in and I did it pretty well, but that one take is lost forever.
Man, it's like that magical thing happens. And it's hard to recreate because then you start thinking.
Yeah, right? That's right.
That's really funny. Yeah. I've had that happen. I've had it where people forgot to press record. And you're playing, and you're like, "Did you get that?" And,
oops.
Oh, darn.
Yep.
I miss HB too. I used to play some shows with HB.
Yeah, I was just listening to Soul Collection the other day, and I was really admiring his time as a drummer. There was such a relaxed feel and and solid time on all those tracks on that recording. HB was the drummer in the early days of the Billy Price Band. And then, when he started to get sick, I brought in Dave Dodd, and then Dave Dodd's been with me since.
Right, that's right. I forgot about that. I do remember that HB was. Wow. Well, fine. He was a fine player, and he was always a nice man. I mean, just
yeah. I see his brother Brian all the time at the gym.
Yeah.
I'm going to Memphis next week.
Are you?
Yeah, I always go to the Blues Music Awards every year.
Oh, that's great.
And then I play on the weekend after the Blues Music Awards. I play a festival in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Oh, cool. That's so
always
good.
fun. Yeah.
Bill, your album, This Time for Real with Otis Clay, won the 2016 Blues Music Award for Best Soul Blues Album.
Mm-hmm.
What was Otis like to work with, and what made that collaboration so meaningful?
Have you ever heard of Duke Robillard, the guitar player?
Very much so.
Yeah. So I had been talking to Duke, and around that time about producing an album on me and the band, and we were just in the early stages of talking about that, and then Otis was away on I had worked with Otis for years, off and on. Started in 1982, but we would work together all the time. We'd probably done 20 or 30 gigs together, where either me with him and his band or vice versa. But he came back from like one of the legendary rhythm and blues cruises, and he called me and he said, more than one person, a lot of people are saying that you and I should do a full-length album together. He said, should we think about that? And I said, well, I'm talking to Duke Robillard. Let me talk to Duke and see if he'd be interested in producing this. And of course, obviously he was. So we ended up, I went to Rhode Island, where he usually works, and we used Duke and his terrific band there. And Otis and I picked the material and we laid down the tracks, but we had a lot of trouble getting Otis to come to Rhode Island. He was having some health issues already, and he kept it on the down low, but he kept canceling and stuff. So finally we thought, well, let's just go out to Chicago and we'll do the vocals out in Chicago, where he lives. So we went to Delmark Studios in Chicago and had these magical sessions, just the two of us singing together. It was just amazing. And he also had his great background singers. He had Diane Madison, who was singing background with Aretha Franklin at the time, and Teresa Davis, who used to sing with the Emotions, and Diane. There was a third singer. I forget her last name at the moment, but she was with the current version of the Shy Lights. So really great background vocalists. And we did almost everything in Chicago, but then I ended up going back to Rhode Island and cleaning some things up and working on it, and we put it out. And then Otis came to Pittsburgh. We did a show together. We combined our two bands, some guys from his band, some guys from my band. We did a show in Washington, D.C. as well. Everything went great. We were all set to put together a tour in 2016, and then I got the phone call from Joe Pratt that Otis had passed. Joe Pratt was Otis's bass player, so very, very sad.
Yeah.
And we did win the Blues Music Award that year.
It's a wonderful piece of work, I can tell you that.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great.
Duke and I talk about it all the time. I just saw Bruce Bears, who's Duke's keyboard player, I was down in Florida on a little tour, and Bruce was playing with Curtis Salgado, and Bruce and I were just talking about how great that album was.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Bill, you've been nominated 11 times for the Blues Music Awards between 2019 and 2025. And you've received the 2024 Bluebird Reviews Lifetime Career Award in the UK. Mm-hmm. How do these kinds of honors feel at this stage of your career?
Well, of course they're very gratifying. I always say I I try not to take it overly seriously because the fact is with the Blues Music Awards, it's a fairly small number of people who vote in those things, and it's like once they know you, they know you. So the same people often get nominated year after year. So I try to keep I try to keep my balance about things and realize what it is. To be honest with you, I use it for publicity purposes more than I really believe it all myself. I mean, it looks good on the bio and it sounds good, but I know what time it is. Honestly.
Well, I can tell you this. Now, you're being humble, but
No, it's the truth, man.
you say that, but I'm a guy, I'm a musician, been a lifetime musician, and you're an icon, man. You deserve all of that and more, in my opinion. So,
I'm sure there's a lot of people, that see me get nominated year after the year and are like, he's not so good. I mean,
that happens.
It's this whole feeding frenzy. There's always a carrot in front of your nose that you haven't had yet, and you're somebody else's carrot.
Well, I will say this: I've never been one that looked at music like an athletic event.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Like you're the only Billy Price there is.
Yeah.
We have our own fingerprints.
Right.
So you are Billy Price, and I'm me. So you get what you get. But what I'm saying is, you're awesome. So if they pick you year after year after year, they're not going to pick somebody that's a
What I will say is that over the last 10 years or so, I've concentrated a lot more on writing and on moving away from just being an imitation of Otis Clay and O.V. Wright and so forth. I mean, with streaming services and Spotify and Apple Music and everything else, there's no reason that somebody needs to hear me singing a nickel and a nail when they can hear O.V. Wright singing a nickel and a nail. There's just no reason. I've served a certain purpose to open people's ears a little bit to some things they might not have heard otherwise. But really, unless I'm making an independent contribution myself, there's not that much value in doing what I do.
I understand.
I spent a long time in my career just doing that because I'm as much or more of a fan than I am a singer or a practitioner. I just like singing O.V. Wright songs.
And I get that, but
I'll sing a lot of them.
But you still are Billy Price doing those.
I bring something to them, yeah, maybe, but
you do. You do. But it's great to hear you writing your own stuff.
Person of Interest and Random Madness are all songs that I've written.
Yes.
Not by myself, but with other guys.
Yeah, and I've heard them both, and they're both fabulous.
Thank you.
So since you mentioned the 2024 album Person of Interest, it received tremendous recognition, including Blues Music Award nominations for Soul Blues Album and Album of the Year. What did the album represent for you, and how did its success lead into Random Madness? Well,
it was the first time I worked with Tony Braunagel as a producer. I had done 2 albums with the great Kid Anderson at Greaseland in San Jose. It's a great studio that does lots and lots of high-charting blues albums. And Kid Anderson's an amazing producer, So those albums were Reckoning and then Dog Eat Dog. But I wanted to do something a little different. I've been talking with Tony Braunagel for years about producing me. Tony is a well-respected drummer. He played with Bonnie Raitt for years and Robert Cray and Eric Burden, and he's now the band leader for the Phantom Blues Band. That's the band that backs up Taj Mahal. So Tony and I had been talking, and finally I said, let's do this. So I kind of put myself in his hands, and he lives in Los Angeles. He works with a guy named Johnny Lee Shell, who also played plays guitar in the Phantom Blues Band. And Johnny has a little home studio like right behind his house in Studio City. And, Tony put together just amazing people to play with me, man. Just ridiculous. Jim Pugh on keyboards and Johnny Lee on guitar. A couple of other guitar players. Josh Sklar, you ever heard of him? He played with Eddie James. He was Eddie James' band leader. And Shane Terrio, you ever heard
Yeah,
of him?
yeah. Shane, I know very well.
Yeah, Shane played guitar on it. Some great background singers. So it's the cream of the crop of LA, Southern California musicians. Got a chance to work with all those people.
That's great. Again, it's a great album.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And the songs mostly written by me and Jimmy Britton. Same with Random Madness. He's my main writing partner. I still write a little bit with Fred. We have one song on Random Madness, and we had one or two on Person of Interest. And I write with a guy named John Tiven from Nashville. John used to write for Rolling Stone magazine. He produced A Million People, and he's a good writer too.
Great. Well, like I said, it's wonderful stuff. And to hear you doing your original music is very welcomed here. I love hearing it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So you've said that the songs on Random Madness are the most personal of your career, ranging from lighthearted to confessional to serious. What made this the right time for that kind of record?
Well, probably awareness of my mortality. I'm not going to be around for that much longer, and I want to, on every album, I want to put everything I have into it, and sort of leave a mark. I mean, it's almost a proxy for immortality to leave something behind, right? And so I wanted to not censor myself in terms of subject matter. And there are some songs on Random Madness that are serious, that deal with serious subjects, particularly the title song, I'd say. And I'm no longer, again, trying to be the incarnation of Otis Clay or Ovi, right? I'm just trying to be as much myself as I possibly can be. And that includes exposing some of my darker impulses and so forth, and just laying it all out. Like when Tony and I started to listen to the stuff, he was like, "Man, this is really different. I'm not sure if the blues crowd is going to like this." And I said, "I don't care. If I like it and you like it, we're going to do this."
Yeah.
Now it ends up sounding not that dissimilar from all my other stuff, I think, because it's, as you say, it's just me. But I do think we're stretching on this album more so than I have on other ones.
I got to listen to the whole thing a couple times, and I think that, in my opinion, it is different from the other stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
But it's not that far out of the park that it won't appeal to your
I think
core
that's right.
blues fans. I
We
don't.
throw some raw meat to the fans. We have a song like "I Got That Dog in Me."
Yeah. I told you I like Creature of Habit because
I love that one. Yeah.
I love that song. I love the humor in it, and there's something about it. Like,
How about that little guitar solo by Steve Dellett?
it's really nice. Steve sounds great on it, but there's something about it, and I'm not comparing it, but it reminded me of some of the Mose Allison stuff I used to listen to when I was younger.
I listened to a lot of Mose.
And it had that, there's some sense of humor stuff happening, and I loved it. I love it.
Yeah, that's also true of Random Madness, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's really excellent, Bill.
Thank you.
I think it's something you should be really.
I'm very proud and happy with it. And the other thing is, it's all my band, which as I mentioned, Person of Interest were studio guys, and likewise with the two albums with Kid Anderson. But I just really wanted to work with my band, and Tony was skeptical at first, but he listened to recordings and he watched videos, and We performed in Memphis last year, and we made the sale, and he said, "Sure, I'll come to Pittsburgh and produce you there." So,
That's great. Now, where did you guys record in Pittsburgh?
at the Vault, are you familiar?
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
Vault?
I know of it, huh?
Yeah, and Jimmy Hoyson's the engineer there. Jimmy has Grammys. I think he won a Grammy for the Five Blind Boys album with Ben Harper that Jimmy worked on, and Tony knew a lot of the same people that Jimmy did. Jimmy used to be at Capitol Records out in Los Angeles. So
Okay.
as soon as Tony knew that Jimmy would be involved, he had a lot more comfort level of coming here. And Jimmy
Great.
is, man, he's great.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where it was recorded, but
Yeah. And then
Great.
we had it mixed by a guy named Sergio Rios. He plays guitar in a band called Orgone, really hip neo soul band from California. And he produces Neil Francis and Say She, a lot of really cool stuff. He's probably responsible for the Latin feel.
okay.
Lenny Castro is the percussionist, and Lenny was on Person of Interest as well. But Sergio mixed the percussion way up. And at first, Tony and I listened to it, and we thought, this is really different, but I think I like this. So we kept it where he had it.
Oh, that's great. Lenny Castro's,
Yeah,
speaking of iconic, he's
Really?
man, that guy's been around forever and doing wonderful.
yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's wonderful. I wonder if Sergio, it's probably a common name, but there's a great guitar player named Carlos Rios who,
I couldn't tell you.
yeah, he's an LA guy, played with tons of people, including Gino Vanelli. There's an old album called Brother to Brother.
Yeah.
And Carlos Rios is the guitar player on that record. And
We got the
bad
idea working with Sergio. Do you know who Mike Finnegan is?
yeah.
So Mike Finnegan played with Tony in the Phantom Blues Band before he died. Well, Mike's son is a guy named Kelly Finnegan, who's the leader of the band Monophonics. And Kelly also records on his own. He's a very much a neo soul artist on the Coal Mine label outside of Cincinnati. So Tony, since he knew Mike, he knows Kelly. He asked Kelly for a recommendation on who could mix the album and give it a little bit of a modern sound, and Kelly recommended Sergio Rios.
Wow. I'm going to have to look this guy up.
Yeah. Well, check out the band Orgone, man. They're great.
I surely will. I'm still learning. I mean,
Me too.
I'm still so excited about music,
Always. Yep.
Yeah. So when you look at Random Madness in the larger arc of your career, what does this record represent to you?
Well, it's as I mentioned, I think it's a bit more personal than some of my other things. I'm not sure what comes next. I could continue in this mode. I mean, Jimmy Britton and I could write 50 more songs easily, just based on the lyrics that I have lying around and the tracks that he has. This guy is so prolific. He's amazing. So we could continue to do that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I think it's an evolution of what we started on Person of Interest, and I think it shows some development, beyond that Person of Interest. So very happy with it.
That's great. And you should.
It's really fun to release something and see people's reactions. Songs are they keying on? I'm finishing up this week work on a video. We have a very humorous video of "I Was a Fool," and I've been working with this film director from Carnegie Mellon, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really funny scenes in it.
I bet. That's something to look forward to for sure. So, Bill, I have a really fond memory of playing a show with you in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We did a concert out in the middle of the street with a band called Osmotley.
They're still together, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they were great, but it was, for me, it was just a really wonderful time. And I've gotten to play with you a few times in my lifetime, and very grateful.
Do it again, man.
Hey, I would love to.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing live shows, but like we talked about, I may end up sitting and playing. It's a little weird with my neck fused like this. It's been
Understand.
a little different for me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was a really special time. Every time I got to work with you, it was very meaningful to me. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Likewise.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So when you look back over your career, what are some of the shows or concerts that stand out to you and are most memorable?
Well, I mentioned the nights at Town Hall with Buchanan. That for sure is right up there. I had a chance last year to bring my band up and perform at the Blues Music Awards, which I'd never had a chance to do before. So we did 2 songs on our own, and my band backed up Johnny Rawls and backed up Sugar Ray Rayford, and it was a wonderful experience. It's what I always say is my favorite moment was I was in Chicago one time in the 90s, I guess it was, with Otis Clay, and my band came down to play at this place called Biddy Mulligan's on the west side of Chicago. And so Otis came in that night, and he had a little twinkle in his eye. He said, "I got a little surprise for you tonight." So we're performing, and all of a sudden there's a commotion at the front door, and in walks Tyrone Davis. Tyrone Davis has a big fur coat, big hat, woman on each arm. He sits down right in front of us.
That's great.
And we invited him up, and Tyrone Davis and Otis Clay and I sang "Turn Back the Hands of Time" together. Trading love verses. It was
wow. So cool.
I couldn't even believe it was happening.
That's amazing. Well, pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty
hard to top that kind of stuff. You've had an amazing career, and it's just beginning, Bill.
Yeah.
I mean,
day at a time, brother.
Yeah, you're my hero. You're going and going. It's great.
Well, thanks, Tony. Thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, thank you so much for saying yes. I'm thrilled that you were able to do this, and I'm hoping that some people that may not know you, they probably do, but some people may not, and they discover what a wonderful artist you are. Not only an artist, you're a great guy. You're just a great human being. So I'm very
back at you, my friend. Back at
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Billy, man, blessings to you. Continued blessings, and I can't wait to hear what's next.
Thank you.
All righty. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my time with Billy Price. I did. We had a ball, actually. I'm glad to see that you showed up. I'm going to come back to the chat now. And I did see a few people. David Bucci's here. Hi, David. David. Dory's here from Chicago. All the way from Chicago. Dory showed up. Sage, great to see you as always. Let's see. Again, if I miss anybody, it's not intentional, okay? I had somebody get upset with me once, but I swear I try to see everybody. Mr. Prism, the Mr. Prism, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Mr. Prism. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so Billy is an icon. He's a legend. I'm so thankful that he was here. And check out his new CD because it's really good. I'm going to put the link again to his website in the chat. I think I'm going to. Let's see. Did I do it? Oh, yeah, I did it twice. Anyway, check it out because it's really good. I've heard the whole thing several times now, and you can't go wrong with that. Also, again, if you get a chance, my Tone Poems, I have the Live at the Blues Cafe CD, Tone Poems Volume 1 CD, They're available at the Fourth Wall store, also downloads, digital downloads, and there's other merchandise as well. Anything like that, like hats, shirts, mugs. Got a Blues Cafe mug here. Any of that stuff helps support the channel, but you don't have to. I'm just glad you're here. You can like and subscribe and even share things. That would be great. That helps too. All right. Anybody have any questions? Hey, William. Thank you so much. And I did see Jesse, and I see Scott Jackson's here. Okay. And Darren is here. Yo, Darren. Great to see all of you. Jesse said that he really enjoyed the interview as well. So thank you, Jesse. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions? Hey, Brian, you're very welcome, and thank you for listening. I appreciate it very much. And once again, this Friday, Winter Park, which is the first song on the Tone Poem CD, is actually going to streaming. So it's going to streaming, and also it has gone to radio. Now, when I wrote this music and it was just music. You know, I wrote songs. And they ended up probably fitting best in a category called smooth jazz. So I let some people hear it. And it looks like it's going to get some radio play coming up. And it already started. So if you happen to listen to any of the smooth jazz stations, keep an eye out or an ear out for that, okay? That's Winter Park with my friend Curtis Swift, who, let me tell you about Curtis Swift. I love this guy. I love him. He's like family. Coming up on Toneful Tuesdays, Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m., I'll be joined by my good friend Curtis Swift, saxophonist, transcriber, and creator of the website saxsolos.com. Curtis and I spent over 20 years together performing, and he also played on my Live at the Blues Cafe and Tone Poems Volume 1 CDs. I'm so looking forward to sharing this special conversation with you. That's Tuesday night, May 19th at 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel. All right. So, yes, Curtis will be here next week. And it's going to be fun. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We worked together for over 20 years and played a lot of shows together. And he's also featured on my Blues Cafe CD, and he's on the Tone Poems CD. So he's going to be here. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, including, of all things, hot sauce. Yes. Hot sauce. We're going to have a conversation about hot sauce. So David's got to go. See you, David. Great to see you as always. Curtis is awesome. Thank you, Candy. Yes, he is. Sage, she's saying bye to David. And thank you, Sage, for the compliment. Thank you so much. I did see Wayne ask about how I asked the questions. I based them on my history with the guest. I also base them on their history, their overall history. I dive into their accomplishments and what I try to find out their loves. I like to know what makes people them, you know. And I think we talked about this on an earlier broadcast. In the words of my friend Curtis Swift, he said, "Hey, Tom." If he were talking about Billy Price, he'd have said, "Hey, Tom, what do you think Billy Price likes to eat?" And what he means is what he likes to listen to musically, the influences he has. So he ingests these sounds and these styles, and he digests them, and they become part of him. So that's what Curtis means. And so I try to get into the makings of anybody that I talk to, because I think it's important. And I know it's been important for me. I always did a lot of history when I was listening to music. If I liked somebody, I wanted to know what made them special. Like, what did they listen to? What were their influences? And what created them. So that's what I do, Wayne. I dig in, I dig into history, and then of course, because people like Billy and I have played together, we have some history on the stage as well, so we get to talk about stuff. But next week with Curtis Swift, we're going to have a lot to talk about, and it's probably going to be sort of funny because we had fun. I do want to tell you, though, I have upcoming guests, and I'm going to list some of them. One guy that's not on here that I just talked to this week, he's a great guy and a great guitar player. His name's Gary Talley. If you look up Gary Talley, there was a band called the Box Tops, and there's a very famous song called The Letter. My Baby, She Wrote Me a Letter. And he's going to be on. He's not on this list here, but he's coming on. And also my friend Paul Thompson is not on the list yet, but he's going to be on. And Paul played the show in San Antonio with Billy when I was there playing with Billy. Paul's a great bass player, and he also has a big YouTube channel, a bass channel. So, and I think, and I hope I get this right, I think it's PD Bass. I think. But is it PD or PT? You know what? While you're here, let me make sure, because I don't want to give you bad information. It might be PT. It would make sense that it was, but I'm not sure it is. It might be, I thought it was PD, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. No, it's PD. I was right the first time. PD as in dog. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the link to Paul's YouTube right now. He has a fabulous channel. It's really informative, and he knows what he's doing because he's a great musician. So when he talks about bass stuff, he's the real deal. So let me put that in the chat here. But he's coming on, Gary Talley, and here are some of the upcoming guests coming on. Next week is Curtis Swift, my friend, saxophonist, all-around wonderful, wonderful human being. After that, Reggie Jackson, the talented Reggie Jackson, and he's not a baseball player, not him. He's a great drummer. He played with Diane Shore, amazing pianist and vocalist. Bobby Floyd, another amazing keyboard player, plays piano and Hammond B3 organ like you can't believe. Jamie Glaser, my friend Jamie, great guitarist, keyboardist, played with Jean-Luc Ponty, Chick Corea, John Anderson from Yes. Great. And then I have a young guy on the week after that. I'm going to have two people on, Joe Pinciotti and Marvin Frock. Joe Pinciotti plays with I'm going to call him an Americana artist, okay? And he's out touring with him, and they're playing big places like Red Rocks and stuff like that. So his name's Charles Wesley Godwin. So my friend Joe Pinciotti, who used to play in my band, I might add, is a great drummer, great guy. And then my friend Marvin Frock, he's one of the coolest people you ever meet. I met him when I was recovering from my surgery in South Carolina, and he is a custom guitar builder. So I'm going to have him on, and you're going to get to talk to Marvin, see him, hear about his instruments. They're cool. Rocket custom guitars based in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And then my friend Tom Hemby, who's a great guitar player, one of Nashville's wonders. And he's been there a long time, and he's played with so many people, including Amy Grant and Vince Gill. And he's going to be on. He's incredible, great sense of humor. And speaking of sense of humor, Gumby Ortiz, my man Gumby. I love this guy. He's the percussionist and right-hand man for Al Di Meola, the fabulous guitarist Al Di Meola. He's going to be on. And then my friend Bobby Floyd. And Bobby, I can't say enough good about Bobby. He's just such a great musician. Played with Ray Charles and the Count Basie Orchestra. And then Don Alico Jr., and I just mentioned him in the interview with Billy. Great, great saxophonist. And, of course, I call him Junior because Don and I are both juniors. Both of our fathers were musicians. In fact, we've done father and son nights together, so it's pretty cool. And I love the guy. He's a great musician, great player. He's down near Nashville. Okay, so those are the people coming up. And let's gonna come back here and just see if anybody has any other questions and see if anybody else has shown up. Candy's back. Candy, you are awesome. And Plank Spanker, he's my friend John. John and Jeannie, they're great people. I've known him. He's a musician too. Great. In fact, he's so cool. And I played at his daughter's weddings, and you know, I love these people. Can't wait for the Curtis interview. Yeah, me too. Curtis is great. Hot sauce. Wayne, we were hot sauce crazy people. I'm not gonna say too much because I want Curtis to be here when I talk about it, but it was fun. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Scott Jackson. By the way, Scott, we need to talk. I want to get you on here. Scott Jackson's a fine drummer, and he's played with a whole bunch of people, and he's a great guy. So he knows The Letter. That's a great song. It is. It's a great song. And Gary Talley is such a cool guy. And he has a YouTube channel too. Look it up. His name is Gary, and his last name is spelled Talley. And he does some really neat stuff with his mom. Now, Gary's 79, I believe. So his mom is older, right? So it's so sweet and it's so cool. They're doing hymns and stuff together. It's some of the most cool stuff you'll ever see. So I urge you to go over and check it out. That's Gary Talley's YouTube channel. He's great. And he's a wonderful guy. We've known him for years. And he's a nice man and talented guy. Okay. Ain't got time to take a fast train. There you go. Alan, he knows it. All right. Excuse me. William Hagan said, PD Bass, great channel. It is. Yeah. Paul's awesome. Yes. Mr. Prism, John Anderson. Jamie Glaser's played with so many people. He's recorded for a lot of people. And he's a great guy. And he's an animal lover. He has... he's kind of like Dr. Doolittle. That's all I can tell you. In fact, look up Jamie. He's got a great YouTube channel too. Jamie Glaser, Glaser. Okay, he's wonderful, and I'm thankful he's my friend. Gumby. Darren said a friend named Gumby is the one friend or the one thing missing from my life. I'll tell you what. So, when I was a kid, I had a Gumby. Remember Gumby? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. There was Gumby and there was Pokey. It was Gumby and I think the horse's name was Pokey. And they were two of my favorite toys. That's all I can tell you. Your buddy travels with Charles Wesley Godwin as their photographer. Oh, nah, that's nice. I may have some of his photos then, because Joe gave me some photos for his interview. So that's wonderful. Yeah, they're doing great. They were, I have video that I'm going to show you from one of the major talk shows, late night shows, I should say. So I'm going to go back through real quick. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sage Rat. You're so cool. So thanks again for coming by. I miss my friend Jimmy tonight, but Jimmy's a great guy too. If you see Jimmy, Drum Blanket, he has a great... all these guys have channels. Wayne, Mr. Prism, and Jimmy's is Drum Blanket. And Jimmy has a few. But they're all cool, and they're great people. So nice to meet all these wonderful people. Thank you, Scott. And say hello to the lovely Gina. Hello, lovely Gina. All right. So, unless we have more questions, I'm going to call it a night because I've been up a while today. I woke up at 3 a.m. I've been up since then. So I'm going to call it a day, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Billy Price was here. I love him, and he was here, and thankful you were here. And I just appreciate y'all. I really do. So everybody, have a wonderful week. Next week, you will see my buddy Curtis Swift here. And there's nobody on planet Earth like Curtis Swift. I'm telling you right now. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a great way. So Curtis is very wonderful and very unique. And I love the guy. So he's here next week. All right. So thank you so much. And everybody have a beautiful week. And listen, it's tough out there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Stay positive. Stay around the people that lift you up, okay? Just help each other. That's what we're here for. Okay. Take care, everybody.